Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Malikicowtipper going to bring you another game of StarCraft 2, and today my opponent is DizzasteR. Let's see just how disastrous this is for him, or for me perhaps. I do apologize about pretty much only casting games that I win at, and I do that for two reasons. One, it makes me feel awesome just because I'm casting games that I win, and number two, the games that I lose, I tend to lose pretty badly right now, where I lose for a pretty obvious reason. And as far as that goes, I feel like a lot of the games that I win, or at least the ones that I do show you, I have some type of value to bring up to YouTube. But if it's something that you guys would like to see, games that I lose or anything like that, or if I feel there's a game that, you know, I did one thing specifically wrong, or I feel like I did everything right but I still lost, I might bring that up. But you know what, I just have such a massive ego that I don't know if I can handle having to watch one of my shameless losses. But anyway, you see DizzasteR down in the lower left-hand corner of Shakura's Plateau, and me, Malikicowtipper, in the lower right-hand corner. And this is kind of an interesting position to be. It's not cross positions, so there's not the furthest amount of distance from us, but there is a good amount of travel distance that needs to happen on this map, and it can make it tricky to do like some type of early timing attacks or anything goofy like that. And I've been experimenting around with, you know, a few new builds as far as, you know, early aggression, Zerg versus Zerg, but the biggest thing with that is if your early aggression doesn't work, it kind of leaves you behind on the economy. So, let's bring this up. We'll bring up production right here as well. You can see that both of us are going for almost nearly, from what I understand, to be an identical build, and the only thing that probably made my build a little bit slower than his build is I supply cap myself. And I'm really not a fan of doing the extractor trick, and mainly it's just because I don't like losing the minerals. I know it's only like 6 minerals that you lose, but it's just one of those things where I guess I haven't incorporated it into my build. I do see it quite a bit at more the pro level, so who knows, maybe it's something that I should do. But if we check this out, I'm going 14 gas, 14 pool, and it appears as though DizzasteR basically did the exact same thing. So what this build does, it really affords for very, very fast speedlings. It's kind of the main thing of this, and it's really, in Zerg versus Zerg, kind of about gaining that map control and getting an advantage over your opponent. You can see that we're both almost equally tied as far as supply goes. His spawning pool, everything that he's doing is just, you know, like basically one step ahead of me, and that's because I messed up on that early build. And what I'm kind of watching for here as far as my Overlord is I'm going to try to make one of two decisions, being that I can see what he's doing. If I do not see him lay down an expansion, I can assume that he's going for either some type of roach timing, which I don't see too many of anymore, or some type of early game speedling aggression where you get your queen out, and then you get the 4 larvae from the queen, and then you build 3, get 14 speedlings, and then try to take over the enemy's base. And that is very effective to do if you notice that they're doing an expansion, because a lot of times they will not have the money to do that, or they're spending money on drones because they want to get the economy up and running. And right here, I'm going to see these 2 scouting lings going forward, but as far as it's concerned, what I'm really still going to wait for here is to see whether or not he does an expansion, and I'm kind of trying to call his game. If we check it out, I did get my speed started, you know, maybe, no, he actually got his speed started about 10 seconds before me, so again, pretty much one step ahead, and there I can see that extractor going down for him right at around the 21, 22 supply mark, and for me, what that means is that I'm going to build maybe one more drone, and then I'm going to go for some speedling pressure because the timing will be pretty much perfect for it. And the reason I'm going to do that is I really do not think that he is going to go for any type of, you know, early pressure on me just because he has that hatchery down there. And even if he does, we can see that he's bringing out 6 lings here. I'm going to bring out 14 lings, and I'm hoping that he's using his larvae to build drones and he won't be able to do anything about it. Now, he is laying a spine crawler down here, which is very smart, because between a spine crawler and a queen, it's going to make it very, very difficult for me to do anything, you know, too crazy against his main base, especially with the small amount of speedlings. But if I can get there before this is up, I may be able to force a cancel, or even better, I may be able to bring it down. And we're going to have to see, you know, just how good my theory is in here, because realistically, that's 7 larvae that could have been put towards drones, so if this attack doesn't have a good desired effect, it may just not do what I need to do at all. So right here we can see that I'm actually going to ambush these lings. One nice thing about, you know, ling versus ling combat is if your lings are, you know, superior in number, is it really doesn't give you an advantage, because your lings get the surround, they heal fast, and you can kill a lot of them. So if we check out the production right now, he's producing 10 units of lings, I'm producing 6 more units worth of lings. And right here, I am going to be able to pick off this queen, which is kind of nice. It's going to slow down this early game about it. You can see all those lings coming out here, and I'm not really going to clean the units lost tab right here. You can see this is very, very effective attack. And if I decide to push in here between the queen and the spine crawler, it's just really not going to work. And I'm going to start, you know, kind of taking away the stats. So right now, the name of this, I do have some more reinforcing lings. I'm going to try to get them to produce as many attacking units if possible. We can see that I'm droning behind us. If we check out the income tab right here, I'm now at 24 to 22 harvesters, and if we check out the units lost tab, I've lost a few less units than him. If we go back to production right now, you can see that he's producing more and more Zerglings and has to replace a queen, while I've been producing drones and a Bangling Nest this entire time. So the reason I'm going for the Bangling Nest is I'm very vulnerable right now. He could easily rush in with these Speedlings, and actually if he did, like a counterattack right now, that would really be very, very bad for me, because I really don't have anything to stop it. And I might be able to produce units quick enough to get him back out, but realistically, at this point, I'm getting a second gas, I'm going lair, and I'm going to try to transition to a mid-game. For me, it doesn't really pay to, try to continue this harass, just because he has enough Speedlings out in the field, and from what I saw back here, he's smart enough where he's definitely going to lay down, spine crawlers, and you can see that he's getting a Bangling Nest himself. Now, I was able to supply Captain, which is pretty neat. I like that a lot. We can see that right now, that attack actually paid off for me greatly, because all this time he was, getting down spine crawlers, producing attacking units, and I'm up 33 to 21 harvesters, and this counterattack is really just coming too late at this point in the game, because I'm going to have Banglings out in the field, or at least I hope I do. Maybe. Oh, yep, good, he stopped. And it's just one of those things where, at this point, once these Banglings are up, these Zerglings almost can't do anything. If we take a look at the tech, he's going lair as well. His lair is quite a bit behind me, and I'm actually going to be going for a third expansion. And because he didn't have an Overlord out in front of my base here, he wasn't able to see that. So right now he has no idea that I have kind of a sneaky fast expand going down. It's completely vulnerable and exposed. And I have a lot of Banglings right here, and what he's actually going to do is very smart. He's going to make me place individual Banglings, and as soon as I recognize this, well, that sucks. And you can see that I have 2 evolution chambers going down, and he's just going to continue. Oh, so wasteful. And I'm going to get down a couple spine crawlers just because this absolutely needs to stop. I can't have that. And when the sling rushes in and sees pretty much that there's no defense left anymore, he's going to bring in all these units. But I hit a few Banglings. I'm so sleepy. But even again, he's doing an excellent job at microing his Zerglings and making this just very, very cost ineffective. But right now, between the Zerglings, a few Banglings that are mixed in, he can try to bust this wall, and it's going to cost him quite a few Banglings to do it. And if we check this out, this attack right now is just coming a little bit too late for its own good. We can see he's at 27 harvesters, I'm at 44, my economy far surpasses him, and what I probably could use as a macro hatch right now to spend all the money I have. I have 2 gas chambers I'm not even mining off of, just because I really don't have any tech that warrants it. I probably didn't even need to get those right away, and you can see that I sent some lings up here, just to kind of help guard against like an easy Zergling run by in case he decides to check that expansion. But if we check this out, he is really committed to blowing me up with this early type attack, and I can't say that's necessarily a bad idea right here, because you can pressure with this. I've seen a lot of ZV games end, but right here you can see all these Banglings going in, and they suicided in my queen. I got extremely lucky right there. Now there's a lot of Speedlings all up in my base, so what I'm doing is I'm morphing all these Zerglings into Banglings. If we check out the production tab, I am using a lot of Zerglings, and what I'm doing right here is I'm trying to route my drones into kind of the smallest area possible to maximize what the Zerglings are able to do to them, and what I'm going to do is run them over to the space while these Banglings intercept, so hopefully I can lose about as few drones as possible. We will check out the units killed tab right here. We can see that he has lost 8 workers to my 0 workers, and let's just see how long he can continue. And right here, still has not gotten a single one of my workers. Oh, that is so awesome. God, that is cool. So, right there, very, very nice. Oh, wait. No, has that killed 14 of my workers? Yeah. Gotta have been my workers, because I wasn't killing his workers. Anyway, so I guess he's killed 14 of my workers, which isn't cool. We go back to the income tab right here, we can see that it definitely did help level the playing field. But realistically, that attack probably was not very cost effective. We check out the units lost tab. I've actually lost a little bit more than him. Wow, I didn't see that one coming. But at least my income's still better, so that's definitely a good thing. And I'm laying down a fuck ton of spine crawlers and other evolution chambers that want to help try to protect the space. And he probably knows that I have some type of ninja base going down there because all those Banglings came from there. And at this point, he's probably like, oh, that sucks. And right now, I have a second base that I need to repopulate. So if we check out the production tab, you can see that I'm getting a few roaches because I want to try to wall this off with something that's a little bit more Bangling proof. Actually, no, that's him getting the roaches. We can see that I'm just droning. I'm basically straight droning. I am getting attack level 2 and armor level 2. And my goal right here is to transition into roaches for a mid-game, and then basically use the roaches as a stepping stone to get myself to Broodlords. That's the ultimate tech, and this is kind of a build that I'm I would say, more or less experimenting around with. And we're just going to have to see if this allows me to do it. So these spine crawlers here just going to, really clear up a lot of these things. When I put them a little bit too far back, we can see that actually I'm going to go slightly clean. But I've got enough workers here, and the Zerg lanes, the upgrades just are not there at all, and I actually have extra armor, which is kind of neat. So I'm just going to drop a few more spine crawlers in this base, and at that point I feel I'll be fairly well Zergling proof. It would take a pretty large number of Zerglings to come in and break that with all these spine crawlers here. Holy crap, I got scared. But what that's also going to do is having a well-fortified expand like this is also going to allow me to take this expansion over here with very, very little threat unless he decides to go air or a cool Nidus. That would actually be pretty neat. If we check out the income right now, 50 to 39, he's just now getting this second base up and running with the economy that it needs to have, and he hasn't taken the third base at all. Now, he is spreading creep, and this is something that I really do not do a lot of in ZvZ. It gives you vision, which is nice, but I find that Overlord spread is a little bit more effective just because it's slow. It speeds up my army, but it also speeds up his army. We can see that I'm up to 60 Harvesters right now over his 38, and as we all know, Zerg games are won by the economy, and it's just going to be very, very hard if we check out the food count right now. We're pretty even, but I should be able to start pulling ahead of him very, very quickly just because I have that many more Harvesters. Holy crap, 68 Harvesters. I better stop building them on the field compared to his. And my Hive Tech, go back to the production tab right here for you guys. Hive Tech is going down. I have a Spire up, and once that Hive Tech finishes, I'm going to transition straight into Broodlords, and realistically it's 15 minutes in the game, and this is going by pretty quick. So while he's preparing for a mid-game, I'm getting Roach Tech in case I need it to fight him off during the mid-game, but I'm teching to late game. So what I'm trying to do, because I'm pretty sure that I have the expand, actually I know that I have the expand advantage because he's just getting this one up, and I have a Ling here just kind of chilling for him. Just to take out a few Zerglings, that could not have been a cost-effective attack whatsoever. Yep, and again, these small amounts of resources, fairly negligible when it really comes down to it, but I guess it makes me feel awesome. Check out the income, 68 to 41. My Harvester lead is just growing quite substantially, and we can see that I'm starting to take a food lead right now. And at this point, with as much money and income as I have, I really do need a macro hatch, and at this point, I could probably roll out with my Roach, with just a Roach army, and probably stomp right through him. We can see that he has 1-1 for his upgrades, and for myself, I have 2-2 for my Roaches, so I would definitely have the upgrade advantage. I do have Infestation Pit with Pathogen Glands research, but I'm really, really committed to... Oh, we need to stop that and get the Greater Spire going up any second now. Go back to the production tab for you guys and see that I have Glial Reconstitution, so I'm actually now just getting ready to tech the Roaches. This is just an absolutely crazy game, and again, this is a build that I'm experimenting with. And I want to see how this works because I find that a lot of ZvZ mid-games, around the 15 to 20 minute mark, just end in Roach versus Roach combat. How cool would it be if you could have Broodlords during that, and then they're like, oh crap, I can't do anything about that whatsoever. So you can see my Greater Spire will be up in 80 seconds, and I just kind of have a mix of, whatever's around the Zerg lanes, a few Bang lanes to clear out his Zerg lanes, my 2-2 Roaches, which are awesome, my Corruptors, Infester, he's so chill, and right now I'm starting to take my fourth base, and well, he's just getting his third base established. I've been mining off mine for a long time. It's very well defended, and at this point, both of us are just trying to max, and we can see I'm at 175 food over 137. So the early economy advantages, they just tend to stack up, and they don't stop stacking up, especially in ZvZ games, because even if I were to lose this army, it'd be a lot easier for me to remax with my income compared to his income right here. I mean, he could probably use about another 10 Harvesters or so, and realistically we can see that he never really resaturated his main, which a lot of people forget to do, and he has a lot mining off the second one here. I mean, migrate a few of those drones back over here and get some more even mining. I mean, that should be basically mined out. I mean, mine's a little bit further along, whatever. I don't want to nitpick, because that's just not how to do it. So right now, this is kind of a sensitive spot in the game, because I know that he's coming up. I've seen him with my Overlords, and I'm desperately, desperately trying to produce Broodlords right now. That's the main thing I want, because this army, I mean, 1-1 Roaches with a few Banglings mixed in. I have a high enough food count where I'm not too worried about engaging the army directly, and right here, he's going to send out these Banglings first, hoping to, try to get some easy kills with them, but my Roaches just going to quick work with those Banglings. And right here, he sees that I have a sizable Roach army, and he more than likely saw my Broodlords as well, and he's pulling back to his base. So let's just check out and see what he does as far as production goes. He has 3 more Infestors. I'm getting my ground level 3 and my melee attack level 2, and the reason I'm getting melee attack level 2 is I'm now going to be relying on the Broodlords as kind of the main damage dealers in my army. And Just Broodlords, they're so cool. I mean, they're chill, guys. Broodlords are awesome. You can see 190 over 166 food. I need to I could probably use to migrate a few of those drones. I have my macro hatch up and running. I have a lot of larvae ready to go at a moment's notice, so I can remax this army. And I'm checking for an expansion down here. Doesn't have it. What I'm trying to do is just pull him in right here. My Broodlords a good place to do. Drop bundles on each one of us. And I have failed you guys. I have failed you miserably. My roaches might be enough to clean this up, but the Broodlords are just going to be that little bit of extra DPS, and there's just absolutely nothing that he can do to counter these. A few infested Terran, but those are going to go down relatively easily, and Broodlords, they have a lot of HP, they have, you know, armor to start the game off with, and there's just really not that much that DizzasteR can do at this point. And as far as, you know, what I was saying in the beginning of the game, this game made it up to YouTube, because this is the third game in a row I think I've won in ZvZ on ladder using this particular build. And again, maybe this doesn't work well past Gold or Platinum League, but as far as it's concerned, a little bit of early pressure, and then, you know, just macroing up, transitioning into roaches in case you need them for the mid-game, because you probably will, but then also trying to get up to your Broodlords very quickly. It does make it kind of bad because the upgrades that you get for your roaches aren't necessarily shared by these guys, but if your economy is good enough and if you can keep them contained, by the time it comes to win, I mean, 20 minutes into the game, there's absolutely nothing they can do to stop you. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Malikicowtipper signing out.